Roman Reigns' WWE return date has been revealed. Plus, we have an update on a potential Edge move to AEW, and Jade Cargill comments on signing with WWE. It's all in the wrestling news right now. The Tribal Chief return has been a big talking point. Welcome back, Jack.
Thank you.
And the other Tribal Chief return has been a talking point as well. Yeah. Arguably the other one.
Roman Reigns is set to come back to SmackDown very, very soon because he's been away for a long time. All we've seen of him mentioned on SmackDown recently has been when Paul Heyman gets his phone out at the end of a segment and goes, "Call Roman Reigns."
I hope one day it goes a bit wrong and it goes, "Calling Roman's Pizzas." No.
But no, the date for Roman.
Asking for prices for Reigns on Amazon.
Has been revealed. He'll be back on October 13th, Tom. We were saying off camera, is this the BOK Center or the BOK Center in Tulsa, Oklahoma? But that's going to be when he comes back, October 13th.
Now, he hasn't been on telly since August the 11th, the SmackDown after SummerSlam.
It's a long time. For the big champion of the company not to be even on TV.
Not even there, exactly. Missing all of September. Like he's Green Day or something. Now, he's going to miss Fastlane. That seems a given since he's returning soon after. But it does mean this will be the beginning, no doubt, of the build for his match at Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia.
Yes, that's what's believed to be the case. We were talking about potential opponents for him at Crown Jewel. You mentioned AJ Styles, perhaps, which would definitely make sense because he was beaten up by the Bloodline and written off for a bit on the last episode of SmackDown, I believe.
Yes.
Taken into an ambulance and all sorts. But then there was another name as well. We were like, it could be this person too.
What about Jonathan Cena?
Well, you can't see him.
But I could see him fighting Roman Reigns in Saudi Arabia. They love a good marquee match at these Crown Jewel. And although we know we've seen Roman and John Cena previously, we've seen Roman and Brock 100 times, but they still seem to go back to that. I think a Roman-John Cena match would certainly be a one. It feels like it would be something that would maybe set up for Cena to do something with Solo Sikoa. There was news just the other week that if John Cena is going to be competing at Mania XL, it could be against Solo.
Yes, Solo is often compared stylistically to Umaga, and Cena had a great feud with Umaga back in the day.
Feud with his dada.
Yes, it could be a big kind of, I guess, rerun of that, I suppose.
I think they could lean into some of the history there, which I think would be interesting.
Yeah, although it's not his dad.
It's not his dad. No, but there's a family tie there.
He wrestles more like Umaga than he does Rikishi, certainly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Umaga's not Solo's dad.
We know that
unless there's been some unless there's a Jerry Springer episode set to come out about the Anoa'i family.
Oh my
that we
God,
don't know
the custody of Solo Sikoa. Little Solo, where's he going to go?
That would be amazing.
But no, it seems like they're going to be building up Reigns for a big match at Crown Jewel. We'll have to wait and see who it is, though.
And we're waiting and seeing on the next steps for Adam Copeland. Better Wrestling Experience giving an update saying that Edge is closer to AEW more than ever, apparently. I really doubt WWE come back with a big money move for Edge, so it feels like that Tony Khan may be about to spend some money.
Edge's the end of his recent WWE run was weird, wasn't it? He had that really nice match with Sheamus in his hometown. It was a big emotional moment. His family were there watching it and everything. And he just seemed genuinely pleased with how it went and very satisfied. But it did seem odd that it was just on TV and that it wasn't a big pay-per-view. What I'm saying is it does really feel like his contract legitimately just expired, but he wanted to carry on wrestling because it didn't feel like the very end of his career. It could have been, but I wouldn't be surprised if Better Wrestling Experience here is on the money and we do see Edge in AEW.
Edge was very keen to go out in Toronto, and it would have been nice if they had a pay-per-view in Toronto for him to go out on, but it just happened that it was SmackDown, and it's like, well, it's Toronto. I don't really care about the name of the show. I care about where the show is. So let me go out in front of my crowd, in front of my family in Toronto. So absolutely. But as you say, not necessarily at the end of his WWE run, but not necessarily the end of his career.
Right, exactly. I would agree. And Tony Khan, if he brought in Edge, I think there's certainly stuff there for Edge to do, namely maybe interactions with the current TNT champion, Christian. You never know.
Now, an ex-AEW star appeared on WWE Telly last night, but not Jade Cargill. Find out who we're talking about there in just a moment. But let's talk about Jade Cargill, who has officially signed to WWE. There's video of her arriving at the Performance Center. There's some nice stills of her getting her, her first steps in a WWE ring as well. The conversation's been that I've seen online, the way they've done this, would it have not been better to have just had her surprise debut? I think this makes her feel like a bigger deal.
We're all waiting and seeing her development and seeing, like, oh, here she is. When's she going to appear? What's she going to do? Yeah. But on the other hand, it does feel like nowadays when pretty much anybody starts in WWE, they all have to start at the bottom and work their way up. But in the case of Jade Cargill, who looks like more of a star than nearly any wrestler around, you kind of wonder, is that the right course of action here?
The news was broken by ESPN, and Mark Raimondi got the first interview with WWE star Jade Cargill. And when asked what night of the week we would see her, she said, everyone's going to have to tune in to every network to see where I'm going. I'm here to stir the pot and keep people guessing, so just tune in. She
was also a guest on the Ringer Wrestling show where they asked her how it feels to officially call herself a WWE superstar, and she said, it feels great. I feel like I was just in preparation for the grand stage, which is the right thing to say to get in WWE's good books, but it's a bit... Get out of there, AEW.
It does. Cheers, mate. Tony's crying.
She goes on, she doubles down and says, I felt like this was always the mission. I felt like, the shoe fit. I felt like this was going to happen. This is all expected, and I'm excited to be here.
She goes on to say, I want to create a legacy. I want to be in the Hall of Fame. I want to wrestle with the best women in the world. There is no grander stage than this stage. The opportunities are endless for this company. It's a no-brainer. It was very welcoming. I don't have any second thoughts about it at all. It was an easy choice. It wasn't easy, but it was easy.
I kind of get what she means there.
Yeah. I think there's ammunition there for your more tribal wrestling fans in comments like
Definitely,
that. But
yes.
I do believe that, I think when the moment we saw her, we thought, well, here's someone that genuinely looks like she belongs in WWE.
It was said from even her very earliest matches in AEW, like, wow, she would be a good fit for WWE. She was asked which opponent she would like to potentially face, and she threw a few names out there. And obviously, this isn't anything official; it's just what she said at the time. She named Nia Jax, Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, and Bianca Belair as opponents she wants to face, among many others as well.
Bayley didn't get a mention, but she rolled out the welcome mat on Twitter saying, hello, I'm the Tree of Life here in the WWE. Pleasure to meet you. Please feel free to watch very closely this Friday as I break down the cheating, nosy idiot Charlotte Flair. Enjoy and welcome.
Learning tree. Fantastic stuff.
You missed NXT last week, Jack, because obviously you were off last week, but there was loads of stuff about trees.
Yeah,
on
no,
NXT.
well, I was working from home, but I was certainly watching along with NXT, and there is so much. There's two separate storylines that involve trees.
Arguably, not enough.
No, yeah, more trees.
So more trees, please.
Yes.
And maybe as Bayley, as the learning tree, would be lovely.
Yes.
Speaking of NXT, an ex-AEW star has an impending NXT debut. This is quite exciting, isn't it?
So last night on NXT, we saw a vignette with someone in a dark room watching a video of the NFL team, the Cincinnati Bengals, and also watching WCW's Saturday Night. And now, if you cross-reference these two things, as you've done here in the notes, Tom, the one person who played for the Bengals and appeared on Saturday Night, WCW Saturday Night, was the late Brian Pillman, which, if you connect all the dots, this is surely Brian Pillman Jr.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Oh, that or the son of Roadblock.
Yeah. He just likes the Bengals. It was just the match that was on at the time.
He's a fan of the Bengals.
Yeah, what can we say?
He wrestled a Saturday night.
Oh, but I tell you who is a fan of both the Cincinnati Bengals and of professional wrestling. It could be Sean Ross Sapp. Because he's a fan of the Bengals, I believe. He's a Cincinnati man.
Sean Ross Sapp debuting for WWE.
yeah, confirmed. You heard it here first.
Sean, we figured it out, mate. Pillman reportedly signed back in August. He's been someone they've been certainly interested by for a long while, and now it's seemingly official. He was at the Performance Center in the run-up to his debut, which could be on NXT in the next few weeks.
Yeah, could be. I mean, the vignette seems to suggest that usually when it's this sort of thing, we get maybe like a run of 3 or 4 vignettes with more and more clues each time. Other than this one, I guess all the clues were there that we need.
And also, how rare for WWE to go, oh, there's a family lineage. Maybe we tap into that.
Yeah.
you know, that's really... Yeah. I was expecting to turn up as like Erwin Flabberdag and just be like, I'm a wrestling plumber. No, we're going to lean into the fact that you're the old Brian Pillman's son.
Yeah,
let's do it.
I think that's a good thing. Rick
Steiner's just there going, can I get involved again now?
I hope that, obviously, they're never going to be able to pull off quite the same stuff that Brian Pillman could get away with in the 90s, but I hope they retain some of that kind of... Give Brian Pillman Jr. a bit of that like unhinged wild card quality that his dad had, because that's what made him truly special.
Yeah, give him a little bit of an edge to him, I reckon. Are you twitching tonight?
I am twitching tonight. Me and Owen Mawson are on Twitter with Cultaholic FC on Football Manager, twitch.tv/Cultaholic from 6 p.m. UK time.
And for the latest wrestling news throughout the day, you can check out cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.